Wednesday, January 2nd, 4:20 p.m. Central Time. I'm a little bit late, but let's get this video started off right. I've got some leftover Jägermeister from New Year's Eve. I got myself a shot glass. Let's make it happen for Hump Day Happy Hour on the 420 report. And if you're watching right now, wherever you're watching from, go ahead and comment below where you were watching from, and then I will go back and let you know when I'll be performing in your area coming up soon, wherever that might be. Even if this is just a replay. If you're watching live, it's 4:20 p.m. Central Time. I'm going an hour late. I went to go live about an hour ago, 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time. But hey, it's always 4:20 somewhere, right? So fuck it. We're doing it. Cheers. Here's to you. Happy 2019. We're already 2 days in. I'm already seeing progress and improvement in my life. I persuaded my wife somehow, some way, used all of my powers and abilities to transform our downstairs sort of like a play area slash her sewing space slash office slash art space for the boys. And I persuaded her to move all of that stuff into the other spare room that's down in the basement where I used to do these live videos from, Studio 420, my home office, so to speak, and turn that other area down there into a rec room. So we've got the drum set up down there. There's a little like open mic type space with instruments, and we're gonna get an air hockey table put in. We've got a dartboard that I'll be mounting later today. It's gonna be my own little bar and grill slash lounge right there in the basement. So I'm real excited about that, and I'm hoping you're going to have a great 2019 as well. Oh, shit, I've been doing all this talking. Number one, haven't even talked about the dates that I'm doing this weekend or done my shot yet. So now that we got a crowd, Mike and Ann and Kirsty, and who else is here? I can't scroll up because I don't have my mouse. Oh, here we go. Joanna, Terry, Anthony, Gail, Jennifer, Sunnyborn. Hey, cheers. Here's to you guys. Thanks for watching. Yeah, buddy, start this video off right. Clear the sinuses just a little bit. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to mix myself up a little cocktail. We still got a little bit of Jägermeister left over from New Year's Eve, and it's hump day. It's happy hour. Hanging out with you guys for just a few minutes. This weekend, Friday, January 4th, I'll be in Rochester, Minnesota with my co-star Jeremy Cartwright, the Pondy Restaurant and Lounge. We're going to do a little Jägermeister slash root beer cocktail. My wife's favorite. This is my wife's favorite cocktail. So we were down on these all night, New Year's Eve, and we stayed up partying until like 6 a.m. Hey, Kyle, what's up, buddy? Mix it up to a nice frothy beverage. And then you always lick the spoon. That's right, kids. Whenever you stir up your drink, what do you do next? You lick the spoon. That's my kid's baby spoon. And here I am using it to mix up an adult beverage while I'm doing a live video and calling it work. This is actually me at my job right now, by the way. I have a bunch more people joining in. Hey, Kyle, Tim, Michael, Greg, Kevin. Thanks, guys, for checking in. Team jer-dog is the coolest. Oh, real quick, shit, almost forgot. Before I get into why Team jer-dog is the coolest, I got something really cool in the shipping today that arrived while in this last hour. Well, I was gearing up to do the 420 report an hour ago, and I went to go live at 3:20 Central Time, 4:20 Eastern Time, and then had a little emergency. Sudden situation popped up. Let's just say I ate a bran muffin and pretty much slammed a pot of coffee. You can imagine the rest from there. And so was going to run a little bit late. I was like, fuck it, I'm still going to go live at 4:30 Central Eastern time or whatever. You know, I always say as close as possible. But then I get out of the bathroom and I got a package arrived in the mail. So that's why I'm going to say shout out to Team jer-dog. Team jer-dog is the coolest, man. Hey, happy 420 to you too, Johnny Johnson. Johnny Johnson, if that is your real name. That sounds like a witness protection relocation code name. Hey, Gary R. Henry checking in. Paulina's here. I got myself a little Jägermeister root beer cocktail mixed up for a hump day happy hour. While I was ready to go live about an hour ago, I get a package comes in the mail. I have no idea what the fuck it is. And my son comes running downstairs. He's like, Dad, did you order a bunch of cardboard? Did you order like a ton of cardboard? And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Order a ton of cardboard? I had no clue what he was getting at. Like, why would I just order a bunch of cardboard? Johnny says that is your real name. That's crazy, man. Your parents were vicious. That's like a guy named Richards and then his parents name him Rick. You know, Dick Richards. I think there are people like that, Dick Richards. I think it sounds like a game show host name. Dick Richards. He's a double dick. It's like a double phallic name, like Peter O'Toole. So I get this big stack of cardboard that shows up. I'm like, what the hell is this thing? I open it up, and I got to show you this, what arrived in the mail from my man, Steve Cypress, who helps me out with my comedy business, my bar promotion stuff, my business advisor. I get this Godfather poster in the mail that arrived. I haven't even taken it out of the package, the plastic yet, because I'm so afraid that it's going to get messed up. It says, everything I know in life I learned from the Godfather. And there's all the rules right there. Never discuss the family business. Avoid sleeping with the fishes or horses' heads. Make sure it's your signature on the contract, not your brains. Very, very wise advice. Keep things business, not personal. That's something I think a lot of you out there in Facebook land could learn from. Keep it business, not personal. Especially a lot of comedians I see go off on these political rants. They're trying to get booked at a club, and then they don't understand why when they pretty much insulted half the fucking audience because they basically made fun of them for not sharing their opinion when it comes to who to fucking vote for. You know, keep it business, not personal. Just because somebody doesn't agree with you politically doesn't make them a bad person. So calm the fuck down and try to get some gigs. You know what I'm saying? I rarely talk politics on here other than just why people shouldn't fucking talk politics. It's like, you know, you've got your opinion. I get it. We all do. That's why we have the right to go out there and vote. Express your opinion there. Don't go on here and tell everybody what you think is what's what. Just and if they don't agree with you, they're somehow a bad person. That's what pisses people off. It becomes offensive and rude. Keep it business, not personal. You know, allow the disagreements. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. I'm sorry, I got off on a little rant there. Apologize for that. It happens, especially when I've been drinking Jägermeister cocktails. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. That's good business advice too, especially as a comedian. Leave the microphone, take the beer. If a favor's called it back, do it. Be careful when fellow diners come back from the restroom. You might get shot in the head. Sicilian women are more dangerous than shotguns. I don't know about that. It could be. I have to ask my friend Willie Farrell. He knows about those kinds of things. Watch out for kids when you're backing out. Put your hand in your pocket like you've got a gun. You'll be all right. That's how I've survived 150 shows a year for the last 10 years at nightclubs, taverns, and neighborhood bars. You roll into those places, I don't know who the hell you are. You start talking shit on a microphone, you're liable to get yourself killed. I always say that, man. If anybody rolled into a bar like I do and start talking shit on them and basically insulting half the crowd, if they didn't have the microphone in their hand and the spotlight in their face, they'd get their fucking asses kicked. You put a microphone in my hand and a spotlight in my face, not only do I not get my ass kicked for talking shit on people at bars, they fucking pay me for it. That's the weirdest thing. That's the only difference, just the microphone and the spotlight. Oranges should make you nervous. Don't look at anyone in the eye, but don't look away either. Never talk business in front of the kids. I'm guilty of that, man. I can't stop talking comedy. I can't stop talking business, especially in front of my kids. Like, I want them to grow up knowing how to do this shit. I remember when my wife first got pregnant with our first son, 2003, and a lot of people are like, jer-dog, now that you got a kid on the way, you've been doing this comedy thing for like 7 or 8 years. You put in a good effort. You gave it a good shot. But now that you got this kid on the way, it's time to get a real job, something with a steady paycheck and benefits. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense, I guess. But then I thought about it for a few more minutes. I go, what kind of fucking role model would I be if that's what my story was to my son? When we found out we were pregnant with you, I decided to hang up my spurs and go get a real job, as opposed to cutting my teeth, learning through trial and error, figuring it out through all the ups and downs and challenges and obstacles that you will face when you're trying to forge your own path, whether it's doing stand-up comedy or whatever it is. When you're pursuing your own dreams, you will come across obstacles and bullshit along the way. You got to figure out how to get over that stuff. What's a better message to send my kid? When you were born, I fucking gave it all up so that way I could be a quote unquote responsible parent, or I spent a few years as a rice and beans eating motherfucker in order to figure out how to do this shit, and then I can pass that knowledge on to you on how to achieve your dreams. I think that's the better story. And in fact, I'm glad I stuck with it, because that's exactly what fucking happened. Never talk business in front of the kids. That's my whole point. I'm going to talk business around the kids because I want my kids to grow up knowing how to fucking do business so they can forge their own path. So I'm going to disagree with the Godfather on that one. Reasonable men don't have to make assurances. I definitely agree with that. You should never have to promise somebody something. They should just be able to take your fucking word for it. You know what I mean? You should have a preponderance of proof that you are a badass or whatever it is that you do, and don't overpromise. Always under-promise and over-deliver. That's basically a message from the Godfather. Always give them more than what they're expecting, and you'll have their loyalty. Don't take sides against the family. That's right, Sonny. Never tell anybody outside the family what you're thinking. You must be playing too much comedy with that little girl. Remember, women and children can be careless, but not men. Oh, shit. Now we're getting into sexism territory. I don't want to mansplain that stuff, especially on Facebook. They'll fucking eat me alive, so I'll just leave that one alone. With respect comes loyalty. Okay, so that's what I was just talking about a second ago. You get the respect by over fucking delivering. Under promise, over deliver. Always do more than what you say you're going to do. Always make them an offer they can't refuse. Absolutely. Always make them an offer they can't refuse. And if that means putting a fucking gun to the head and assuring them that either their brains or their signature will be on the contract, then that's what you fucking do. And that's how you achieve your dreams. I'm kidding. That's the Jägermeister talking. Let's go into the comments. And while I'm checking this out, I'm trying to scroll up here to see what kind of comments we got. Johnny Johnson, any plans to visit Northeast Pennsylvania? Nothing in Northeast Pennsylvania, Johnny, but coming up in April, I do have a lot of shows out east. One of them will be in Lewiston, Maine. I don't know how far you are from Lewiston, Maine, but that will be, I believe it's the end of April, the last Saturday in April. Saturday, May 11th, I will be in Gaithersburg, Maryland. I get those two confused. Germantown, Gaithersburg, whatever, with a return show at the Eagles Club there. But those are the closest things that I have coming up in the East Coast. That's later on in the spring. Of course, I'll put that information in a reply to your comment there. Hey, Larry, what's up, buddy? Larry checking in. Ed is here. Gary says, never post pics of yourself wearing a black seaweed face mask. Oh, shit. Here you are. Here, I can just imagine this. Here's this guy. He's probably just trying to clear up maybe a little bit of a skin issue or just bring back some vitality and youth to his appearance, puts on the black seaweed face mask, posts a picture of himself, probably just trying to be funny. And I can just imagine the onslaught of social justice warriors you got on that one, dude. That to me is the best stuff, is when you're offensive, but you don't mean to be offensive. Hey, bud, man, what's up? Good to see you, dude. I'll be coming to your neck of the woods. I know that you left a comment the other day checking in from the great city of Beloit, Wisconsin, but I'll be at Boxcars Pub and Grub in Clinton, Wisconsin, Wednesday, February 13th, the night before Valentine's Day, co-starring with my good friend, my soul sister in comedy, Katrina Brown, the mutant queen of comedy, in her comedy battle of the sexes, the He Said, She Said comedy show. That is a lot of fucking fun to do, man. I like that. It's a throwback to like an old school way of doing comedy where you work together as a team. You don't see that very much these days in stand-up. The comedy team, you know, and we can also do solo individual performances. You know, she goes out and headlines improvs and funny bones and clubs all over the country. I'm out there, you know, doing my 90-minute one-man chaotic comedy show, jer-dog's comedy road show at nightclubs, taverns, and neighborhood bars all over the country. It's a lot of fucking fun, but when we get on stage together, both of us with a microphone in our hand, just going back and forth, we can go in and out of material. We know each other's act good enough that we can't necessarily do each other's jokes, but when she starts to set something up, I know exactly where